Hello everyone, welcome back. I promise you this video will be shorter and then the material will be kind of light. We are still on accounting 210 and we are trying to finish chapter 10, performance evaluation. We talk about you can evaluate based on the variance and then actual flexible budget and then the master budget. But there is another thing you want to consider kind of a non-financial part. How do we measure the manager's non-financial part? We use balanced scorecard. We use the balanced scorecard. So what's the meaning? Let's say as a student, you are I was mainly evaluated by your, how many points you got at ABC. But personally, as a professor, I never ever just say, hey, you got 91. You are definitely better than someone got 85. There are small non-financial factor like you participate in class discussion, you help your classmates. So those things are also considered. Uh, I cannot give you A just because you participate in class or you help other students. But for the managers, we want to also measure them from non-financial factors. We want to have a balanced scorecard, right? We don't want just to focus on financial. Therefore, we have four perspectives to measure them. So your job is these four perspectives and kind of know each detailed the measure. So balanced scorecard, I didn't even write. So it's a card with a score, right? It's a scorecard, but we also balance. What do we balance? We balance financial performance and non-financial performance. We also balance the short-term and the long-term. So that's we call it a balanced scorecard. Four perspectives. First one is financial perspective. Everything with the financial part, especially like a dollar amount, your revenue, your sales, your EPS, your residual income, ROI. So those things are the financial part. Second perspective is customer satisfaction, and your market share is also your customer, repeat of customer, and then on-time delivery. So those kind of customer perspective. The third thing is internal business. So everything related with your internal business operation, everything related with your internal business will be our internal business perspective. All the way of the value chain, from your innovation, right? Whether your product has new feature, that is your internal business. How about our operation? Do we have good quality? Do we decrease the defective rate? And then also the post-sale service, customer service hotlines. So those are our internal business. Everything related with your internal business. Everything related with your internal business. I'm not going to read, but this is kind of the main thing students kind of struggle because it has more measures, right? So from new product, from your defective rate, from your repair time, from your customer service. So those things are internal business. Last perspective is called learning and growth. Learning and growth. There are basically textbook said three, but I personally think there are just two. One is related with our employee. Do we train them? Our employees are happy, yes or no? And second thing is the information system. Do we have enough like capacity, Wi-Fi, data? So those things are information system capability. Textbook also said climate for action. I don't really worry too much. I think as long as you know it's employee and the information system. So students say, oh goodness, it's kind of so many perspectives. I really cannot memorize them. So how can you help me? Right? How can I help you? Okay, let's do these four perspectives together. Let's do these four perspectives together. Ultimate goal for each company is they want to earn money, right? I just use dollar amount. So ultimate goal is still the financial perspective. You want to have a more revenue, you want to have a lower cost, you want to have a higher return. So that's definitely your first perspective, is a financial perspective. I ask you, how do you get money then? Who buys your things? Who will increase your revenue? Who? It's our customer, right? So it's our second perspective, customer perspective. As I say, there are two parts, basically. There are two parts, although we said customer. So what is customer? Customer satisfaction, customer satisfaction, your repeated customers, so those are customers. But we also have market share, kind of like a market share. If you have more customers, most likely you have a higher market share. So make sure customer perspective has two parts actually, customer part and then market share part. So how do we make our customer happy? You ask yourself, if we have a low quality, if our product no new feature, you think customers will be happy, yes or no? Not really, right? How do we make our customers happy? We have to have a good internal business. You got it. Ta-da, right? You got it. Ta-da. So we call it, you have to have a good internal business. You have to have a good internal business. When I say internal business, it actually also has three parts. Your innovation, before you produce, you have new features, R&D innovation. And how about your operation, daily operation, yield rate, defective rate, those things. And how about your post sales, your customer service, your delivery? So those three things, before your operation, during your operation, after your operation, your internal business has to be good. Last question, how do you have a good internal business? Who works for you? If, like, I'm not smart, right? So if you have a not smart employee like me, very unlikely you will have a good quality product. So you have to have what? You have to have employee work for you, and you also have to have a good information system capability. So which is our learning and growth, right? Learning and growth. We said two main things. One is you have to have good employee. You don't want to get dumb employee as me. And the second, you also want to have good information system capability. Now, after you got this flow, I hope you feel better. You want to have a good financial part. Who gives you good financial part? Customer and market share. How do you get them happy? You have to have good internal business. How do you get good internal business? You have to have employee and information system capability. You tell me, hey, professor, I got it. I will say, perfect, and thank you. So you don't really need to memorize everything. As I keep telling you, the only way I test you is I give you some multiple choice. I will say, like, I just make up an example. I said, hey, yield rate is what perspective? You have to know it's internal business. Or I say, hey, customer perspective includes which one? Percentage of market share. So make sure you get the right answer in the multiple choice. And there is a tip I want to share with you. I'm not trying to let you cheat, but financial perspective, students most easy to get it because it's kind of your financial customer. Students also say, oh, it's okay, it's just customer and market share. Learning and growth, as I say, is employee and your information system. So the internal business, I would say, has more meat there. So read this part in the multiple choice. If you really don't know, is what perspective, and you know it's not financial, it's not customer, it's not learning and growth, higher chance it will be the internal business. Okay, so right, this video is a short, light, and you deserve it because you are a good student. Thank you for working so hard with me for chapter 10. I see you next video. Always let me know if you have any question. Bye.